Welcome to Bourbon Taste-Offs, playoff brackets of the best whiskeys. Join us in our season-long quest to find our tastiest bourbon. And here is the bracketology of the last 9 months. First 3 quarters are done. We are working on finding the last quarterly winner. We will then have those 4 quarterly winners compete against each other to find our favorite whiskey of the year. We are narrowing it down from 192 bottles to just 1. Follow along to find out what our tastiest whiskey is. Cheers. And just a reminder, you can listen to our content on Apple Podcasts, Podbean app, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. And you can watch our content at YouTube and Rumble. Hi, thanks for joining us on Bourbon Taste-Offs. This is episode number 56, and obviously you can see we're in a special location. This is the Nice Ash Cigar Bar, downtown Waukesha. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Todd.
I'm Chris.
I'm Adam.
I'm Joette.
Joette, are you the owner of this place?
Depends if you have a complaint or a compliment.
All compliments from over here, so.
Then yes.
Very nice to have you on. We always, whenever we have someone new on the show, we kind of ask what their experience with bourbon is. Do you have a story to tell with bourbon, or?
Not really. Other than Nice Ash Cigar Bar used to be pretty much a beer bar, and then when bourbon got real big back in maybe 2003, 2004, we decided to switch over and focus a lot more on whiskeys, and we carry more bourbons than any other whiskey.
How many bourbons do you carry?
50-ish, 50 plus minus. It's a constantly flowing number. We add some that are hot and sell out of things or special out things that aren't going as well. Older, right now sherry barrels are real hot and different kinds of finishing as opposed to just a straight bourbon that was big back in 06, 07, 08.
And you actually get barrel picks here too, don't you?
We do. We're on our 3rd right now, and they've all been just a little bit different than the one before.
The most recent one, that's the Wilderness Trail.
Wilderness Trail.
That's a delicious option.
Nice.
It is a delicious option, and we're doing actually we do a barrel aged old fashioned of that right now that I barrel age at home, and then after they're ready to be bottled, bring them in, and it's usually quite tasty.
Awesome. Nice. Speaking of tasty, we're going to show you right now what this episode's about. It's about cigar blends, which is kind of apropos with having cigars in a cigar bar. So we're enjoying some cigars. We're going to enjoy some bourbon cigar cuts. So here's the lineup right now. The bottle lineup in this episode is in glass 1. It's Copper and Cask, limited edition release. It's a cigar blend bourbon whiskey, aged 7 years, finished in cognac, sherry, port, and Armagnac casks, and is 119.4 proof. And in glass 2 is Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend Bourbon. It's a straight bourbon whiskey finished in Armagnac, sherry, and cognac casks, and is 109 proof. In glass 3 is Starlight Cigar Batch Limited Release. It's a bourbon whiskey finished in Brazilian Amburana barrels. It's aged for 4.5 years, and it's 106 proof. In glass 4 is Buzzard's Roost Straight Rye Whiskey. It's a cigar rye. The whiskey in this barrel has rested in brand new, lightly charred oak barrels that have been toasted and then very lightly smoked with Kentucky-aged cigar tobacco, and is 105 proof. I ended up forgetting to bring the die, but we do have some dice here, so they're 6-sided. We just need 4, so
I'll just
Adam,
roll.
if you roll...
4.
4.
1 verse 4.
1 verse 4. That's perfect. So the first lineup is 1 verse 4. So we'll start with a cheers. Thank you, guys.
And does
together.
everybody
Bumps.
start with 1?
Yes,
Yes.
start
Okay.
with 1.
No one blink.
Cheers.
That's right. So, Joette, you might not have seen, but we had an episode where one of our hosts, he's not on today, his name is Dave, but he said that whenever you toast, you're supposed to make eye contact, otherwise it's 7 years of bad sex.
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So, yeah, ever since then, Adam makes sure that he has
Yes, 100% every
Big old
time.
eyes.
Not gonna be in fault for that one. You know.
I don't want to fall for that either.
No,
The color on these are nice.
they are darker. Now, there's going to be a rye that's a cigar cut. It's going to be basically charred oak, and then they toast it with cigar smoke.
Ooh.
So that's going to be kind of a rye with cigar smoke taste. And then there's an Ambruana finish one. That's a Brazilian oak
Yep.
option. And then the other two are Armagnac, Cognac, Sherry finished.
Oh, nice.
So
Sounds like a fantastic lineup.
absolutely.
Nose on this is real sweet.
Agree.
Taste is too.
It is a bit. It's got decent mouthfeel. It's more of a mid back of tongue burn. It definitely gives like what Don calls the hug.
Yes.
Yes.
It definitely leaves that in the throat.
So I'd say proof positive.
Yep.
So when we say proof positive, Joette, we're thinking like anything over 100 proof is positive proof, and anything under 100 is negative proof.
Yep. So we use the bottled in bond as 100 as our neutral.
Yeah. It just helps us in describing what we're getting.
And I would actually disagree, but I'm probably wrong.
You think it's proof negative?
I do.
Okay.
Unless you looked at all the bottles and saw.
I
that
did look
they're
at all the bottles. The lowest one is 105.
Okay.
The highest one is 120.
It's just so smooth for
Yeah.
to be that high to me.
That's good. You got a spicy palate.
Yeah.
Speaking of spicy, you know the name Nice Ash. It
Yes.
really does kind of sound like nice ass, right?
It does.
Was
It
it
does.
a intentional?
Intentionally.
Almost as though they thought of that.
I don't know. There's ash on a cigar too.
Yes, there
Yeah.
is.
There is our original vote for naming the bar. What we wanted to do white ash because the sign of a really good cigar is the whiter the ash, the better.
Okay.
It's been aged. However, we kind of
Went
thought again and thought.
away from the white ass.
Yeah, we didn't want to be.
That sounds
I don't want to say racist because we're
yeah.
not racist,
No.
but
Right.
but
Some could intend.
some could. If you don't know cigars,
Yeah.
Sure.
that a white ash is a good thing, you may think, oh, that's not a place we want to hang out. So, and we were also looking to find a name that we could find a web page that wasn't already taken. So we're theniceash.com because there was already a niceash.com.
Oh.
And there also is whiteash.com.
Well, it's better to be the anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So
We thought so too.
that's awesome. And you have a downstairs, and that's called the Ash Hole.
The ash hole, warm, comfortable, spacious, inviting.
And what do you do down there?
We have a poker league that's on Monday nights. We have a sheepshead league on Thursday nights.
Fun.
It's available for private parties. Kegerator down there you can have 2 barrels of beer on. That's all you guys need to know.
Yeah.
We also have a stock humidor down there. So there's another. We've got a humidor upstairs and then my stock humidor downstairs with private lockers.
Yeah, you've got all sorts of amenities. It's really a one-stop shop. Got it all. And to play poker in the Ash Hole is fun.
Yeah. So on the taste profile on this one, I'm definitely getting like cherry apple fruitiness on the flavor profile. And then when I add my cigar to the cigar blend, and we're all smoking the same cigars today, so we're all even keel, I'm getting more of that like creaminess coming out of that whiskey. Like a sweet cream.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm going to go over to 4.
That's nice. I do like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. And I'm bumping him. He's like, it's a big shot.
It's a little tight, and it's a little. You got to be careful with the bringing your cigar back over the glass.
It's cozy.
Yeah.
It is cozy in here.
We'll see how that changes the flavor profile on my one.
Not a lot of nose on my glass.
Yeah, on number 4.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything, and I'm getting, if anything, it's a little bit of like vanilla, but not heavy. Usually that's a little bit of that oak tannins coming out into the barrel from the barrel.
I had to relight my cigar. Yeah, I'm not getting as much on the nose.
Yeah. Man, if I could only spell the word vanilla in my notes, that'd be great. Glad no one else sees these.
It's got a nice finish, though. I think it's got a nice, kind of sweet, kind of spicy, kind of sits there.
Yeah.
It's a bit more of the woody oaky tannin
Yeah.
right up front. It is. Yeah, it's. I'd say this is definitely lower proof than the last one in my mind. That or it's just ridiculously smooth going down because it's.
We've had some of those recently that are just crazy smooth going down. So
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've been pretty lucky with some of the recent episodes we've had.
Going back to number 1 for just a moment, I really prefer a viscous mouth feel compared to what
Yeah.
number 4 has.
Yep.
Yeah.
4 is definitely thinner.
We've noticed those, like the Blue Run, where it kind of just coats everything
Yep.
and lets you know it's there.
Yes. It does give you more of a premium feel whenever it's a covering mouthfeel.
I'm getting a little bit of rye spice off of number 4. Not like really heavy, but like a little bit of that baking spice.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it's a whole different. I mean, just where it hits the tongue, everything. This is 4 is more of just like front of the tongue, and then even the second sip, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go and try and get it to the back of the tongue, and no, it does nothing to the back of the tongue and the throat. It's strictly all up front
You're talking 1?
on 4.
Four.
On 4. Yeah. Uh-oh. Something's floating in my whiskey.
It's ash.
Ash, yeah, that happened to mine. That's why I said.
Are you ashing in my drink?
I'm not. Yours are over there. You ashed in your own drink.
Watch your ash, okay?
Keep your ash to yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
With smoke though on 4, I am getting a little bit. It's cool how like that. Kind of like when you smoke a cocktail, it kind of brings out more of those like oaky tannins. I'm getting more of that oaky flavor on the taste after the smoke.
I think I have one picked.
I for sure do.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Should we-
Joette, if everybody's ready, we'll start with you.
I have one picked, and it's number 1.
Ooh.
Picking number 1. Didn't like 4, or
I wouldn't drink it again.
okay.
I would definitely drink 1 again. I would have no interest in number 4.
Very good.
I'm one as well. Yeah, overall, just the mouthfeel and the way it kind of left a bit more, I don't know, the hug. There's just more to it. There's more nose to get out of there right away, and yeah, that's definitely 1 for me.
I also picked 1. I just thought that like the mouthfeel on it was a lot nicer, and then like that sweet cream flavor I was getting on a finish after I had my cigar again. It was just like I really like that, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 1.
It's going to be unanimous. I'm also going to pick 1. I do like 4. I like the finish. I think with cigar blends, I think they're made to complement cigars and actually fight through what some cigars can kind of cover. You know, and that's why you're getting a lot of flavors, I think. With
And I think it's cool too because we're gonna figure out like everyone has their own take. There's no definition of a cigar blend. Is it there to like make like accent the flavors of your cigar, or is the cigar accenting the flavors of the bourbon, or is vice versa, or is it just something that you can holds up to having cigars?
yeah.
So yeah,
And I think having a cigar with a bourbon, you need to have a much more powerful bourbon.
yeah.
Yep.
A little more age, a little more proof.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. And then obviously finishing in those ports and Armagnac and cognacs. Yeah.
So 1.
So
hey?
here's
All
the
right,
1.
here's the one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move over to 2 and
2
3
and
now.
3.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not getting a note off of it.
There is. I get way more nose than I did on 4. Off
Yes.
of this.
Oh, okay.
But
Other than it's like more fresh, it seems.
Cherry?
It-
Does anybody have cherry?
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
I definitely. It's
Okay.
the nose I'm getting is from whatever it was barreled in. Yeah.
It is actually coming more. It's getting more pronounced now for me.
Oh, that's lovely.
It smells like it's going to be good. Yeah.
It's always good when you smell something, you're like, oh, I'm excited. And then you have it, and it's right where you needed it to be.
Ooh. Wow.
I'm still working on the nose, guys.
Yeah.
I know.
Your nose has a lot more to do. My nose is like, yeah, it smells good. We can smell something. No, we don't know what it is.
Right.
Let's give the tongue a chance.
And it did. It had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you could. Again, I don't know Armagnac versus Cognac versus Ragnarok.
The store
But
here?
the difference between Armagnac and a cognac is distilled twice.
Okay.
Armagnac is distilled once. And so they do say that you should get more floral and flavor from an Armagnac over a cognac.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's not distilled out,
Yeah.
essentially.
Because, yeah, whatever. I definitely get the cognac kind of almost notes, which normally when most of the ones we've had, I don't pick them out as much.
Yeah. And sherry is an option too that they
Right.
finish them in, and I can get some of that on too.
That's true, and I almost think, I'm trying to think, I haven't done many Armagnac, Cognac, sherry tastings
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah.
Not for the
That
past.
was, very
48
2018.
years.
It's
Yeah.
been a minute on my comparisons that way.
Adam, did you get a chance to taste it yet?
I did. So on my nose, it's like that cherry vanilla kind of like custardy kind of niceness that I'm getting from the nose, and that kind of really rolls into the flavor profile of it. It's nice. The proof on it seems kind of proof neutral plus,
Sure.
somewhere in that kind of range. And again, that's just the way it tastes, right? That's all. It doesn't burn on the way down. Everything else seems pretty good on that one. And then it just finishes so sweet, and it kind of just hangs out for a while afterwards. Like we had value per sip we've talked about before.
Absolutely.
And like this one is nice that way.
And you can cover it with a little puff of smoke, after a cigar, to kind of sit there and mingle with it. And it's,
Yeah.
So far for me, this is the most pleasant with a cigar out of the 3 that we've tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. Just, everything, the way it hits in the mouth, it's hitting lightly burn on all parts of the tongue, nothing heavy or strong, which again I think goes to like the proof neutral, just over proof neutral. But
Nice
it does. Go ahead.
Nice mouthfeel again.
Yeah. Yeah,
I agree.
it's
Not as good as 1 in my humble book, but
As far as
way
the
better than
mouthfeel.
4. Yes.
I like the oaky flavor that really comes out too. I think that's kind of what I've noticed, at least for the other ones so far, is that you get a lot more of those oak tannins, that aged oak flavor after a cigar hit on it, which makes sense why they're trying to add those sweetness elements into everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it really comes through like that, like older oak flavor on too.
I agree. I just nosed 3, and I can't wait, Adam, for you to nose it, just
Well,
because
let me get through the color
I
first.
think you're gonna know what it is.
Instantly.
Yep. Just with the nose.
Oh, I know what that is. I know that is exactly.
Yep. Just with the nose.
the cinnamon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the options is finished in Ambruana.
Amberana.
Which
Tell
is
me what that is.
It's a Brazilian oak.
Yes.
And a Brazilian oak is famous. They use it in like Penelope Rio. Galveston Brothers have a couple of them that are like that. RD1 has Amberana finish. It's that classic cinnamon toast crunchy kind of flavor comes out of that wood. And it's just the way the wood tastes, which is awesome.
Yeah. And it's actually not even considered an oak. It's considered a legume or legume.
A legume?
A legume.
It's like a peanut?
Legume?
It's a peanut.
It's off
peanut
of like
aged.
chickpea and what else did they say?
It still blows me away when you realize that peanuts grow in a tree.
They don't.
They grow
They go
underground.
or in the ground.
Yeah, they're
They
like
grow
potatoes.
No wonder it blows you away.
Then what am I thinking of? There's something that I thought was in the ground that isn't a tree.
Coffee?
Nuts.
Coffee always blew my mind. Cashews as well. They're like
Oh, sure.
you get 1 cashew per flower.
Maybe it's cashews I was thinking of. But once you said legume, and this is obviously a tree, I started that immediately made me jump to peanuts in a tree.
Yeah.
All right, so ground. So fine, whatever.
But that's what makes it a legume and not a nut.
Look at this. Giving all kinds of knowledge.
Yeah.
What do you think of that one?
Oh, yeah. I think she likes it with the
Yeah.
smacking of the lips.
It's a little spicy.
It's spicy. It has that's a unique taste up front.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife ended up with that bottle of RD1 Amberana finish that was like 128 proof-ish and totally killed her taste buds because
Yes.
she drank like the half a bottle in a week.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely. Obviously, the Amberana does that to
Yeah.
blends. I do like Amberanas that are maybe not aged as long in them, and
fair.
you know,
Yeah.
because I think it can be overwhelming.
Can you
at
spell that
times.
word?
It'll be right here on the screen. That's how we do that.
Oh. Oh, I see now.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Right next to the penguin.
Right there. Let him go.
He's,
across-
he's looking.
Oh!
He's looking for the Antarctic pear.
Yes. One day he'll find it.
Yep, keep searching.
This is, yeah, it's smooth on the whole back of the tongue and down. I got burn on the front of the tongue, but it just rolls down the back, and then it just leaves. Now I'm getting a little bit that it's leaving there, but it does have a whole different kind of.
It is different than the other three.
Yes.
for
It
sure.
stands out for sure.
It has like a different kind of oaky sort of taste that it leaves. That's uniquely different than the standard kind of tanniny oak,
yeah.
which I'm
And
going to go with from the Amberana that we
Yeah.
believe this is.
I'm reminded of the
Or
Sesame
Adam.
Street song where it's like, one of these four is doing
not
its
like
own
the,
thing.
yeah, it's not like
Now it's
the
time
other.
to play the other.
But I do now. The aftertaste that's just sitting there and lingering is cinnamon toast crunch.
Yes.
I literally
Yeah.
taste that on my tongue right
Yeah.
now.
And then with a cigar, that cinnamon really pops like red hot, like the red hot candies, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have one picked.
But we're only picking between 2 and 3.
2 and 3, yep.
But you said you had one pick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I already picked one before.
I know. I already bit my tongue on that first one, you know?
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. I'll start this one out. 2 and 3, tasting and smelling 2 was, I think, absolutely delicious. I think it really does go with a cigar well. I think 3 kind of is too much sweetness or too much kind of like a cinnamon toast crunch. You know, if I'm
Yep.
tasting bourbons, I don't want cereal. So I think for me it was an easy decision. I like 2.
I can go. Actually, I'm gonna take 3. I do like my weird oak finishes, and I'm 99% sure that that's what that is. So, and I think the fact that cinnamon flavor, like we were talking before, is like, what are they going for on their cigar finish? Is it like for a cigar blend, right? Is it trying to like power through a cigar? Is it trying to accent the cigar? And I think this one really holds through with a cigar, and then it accents it a little bit because now my cigar's got a little bit more of those like rye baking spices coming out of it, which is actually a lot of fun. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 3.
Joette, you want to go or?
Go ahead, Chris.
I'm torn. The cinnamon flavor of 3 is there and lasting. I will say, like we have talked before about carryover. I went back to 2, and that cinnamon is like embedded on my
Yeah.
tongue and still there with it. So I'm like, oh, that's a good to go and taste, and then go to everything else. The upfront different kind of, I almost want to say a thicker oaky tanniny of 3. I'm like, I could see some people liking it, but not me. So that's kind of where I'm like, all right, I like all around the way 2 kind of is. Mouthful burn. 3 is something I would definitely like to have occasionally, but if I'm going to have a couple in a night or something like that, 2 is the one I'm going to go and pick. And then 1 would be, hey, that's kind of cool to have, but I'm going with 2 right now.
Nice.
Pretty much a ditto, except for not at all interested in doing number 3 again. I'm not an oak fan. I'm not a tannin fan. I don't like it in my wine. I don't want it in my bourbon. But that's just me. 2 is at a much better mouthfeel, a little bit sweeter. That's my wheelhouse, is a little bit sweeter. I don't like spice on a rye, but I think the rye that we had was good.
Yeah. So 2
Here's
wins.
the 2.
2.
I agree with you, Joette. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to finish 3. It's just too much for me.
It was better than 4 in my book.
So-
I think
Okay.
actually.
I'm gonna do the Adam
Do we talk
Oh,
about
the Infinity Glass.
See
Yeah.
how those mix.
What?
Yeah. Most of the time, unless we do unique barrels
So-
episodes,
What?
I mix them all together.
Have you ever heard the term infinity bottle? Joette?
No.
So it's when you have a little bit left in the bottom of a barrel, like your bottle, before you get rid of it, you blend them.
Yeah.
And because you normally buy stuff you like, it's your Infinity Glass. So a lot of times at these episodes, I'll put whatever's left together to make whatever to see how it goes. And sometimes it's really good, and other times not so much.
The
You know-
1792 episode really worked out. Where we
Oh,
had
I'm sure.
1 + 3 = 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the bar business, we call that the bar mat shot. Not a good thing, guys.
We're not doing it off the
There
mat,
are
though.
situations where it is delicious, though. In fact, have you ever heard of Old Forester
Yes.
1915?
1915. No, I have not.
So there's a 1920 and a 1910. You mix them together to make a 1915.
Do you?
I heard
We
it
do.
was really good.
It is
Really?
good, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Because
I
obviously,
might
that's-
try. We have
we-
both of those
yeah.
behind the bar. I may give that a shot.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you get the power from the 1920, which is more of a high proof, and then you got the
Double oak.
toasted double oak from the 1910. And
Yeah.
it comes through pretty good.
Nice.
I mean, most bourbons are blends too. I mean, you get a lot of blends.
That's
so-
true. That's
Except
true.
single barrels.
True.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-explanatory there. All right, we're going to actually bring the losers out and we'll talk about them.
Yeah.
So we're back and we're actually going to show the first one that got knocked out against 1. So 1 and 4 went up against each other and 4 did not continue, and we're talking about 4 right now. So Chris, if you could take that bag away. So glass 4 was Buzzard's Roost Straight Rye Whiskey
Really?
Cigar Rye. So it's 105 proof, and this is the one, Joette, where they actually toast it with cigar smoke. In fact, I'll read the back of it. It says, here at Buzzard's Roost, our innovative approach to maturation allows us to deliver unique flavor profiles into our whiskeys. The whiskey in this barrel has rested in brand new, lightly charred oak barrels that have been toasted and then very lightly smoked with Kentucky-aged cigar tobacco. Sit back, relax, and roost a while. We hope you'll enjoy this expression of Buzzard's Roost.
So clever.
I know. Marketing.
Dad joke marketing.
Yes.
Dad joke marketing.
So, I didn't think it was bad. I know, Joette, you weren't a fan of it.
No.
Too oaky
Okay.
for
And
my
we-
palate.
We've had it before after some really proofy episodes, and it was like really good.
Yes.
Sometimes it happens like we get all these good selections that go against each other all the time, and then all of a sudden like one gets diminished. But if you try it on its own, not against
Right,
other
right,
stuff
sure.
back to
I can
back,
see
it's
that.
very tasty. And I think that that older oak flavor I was getting off of it after the cigar is probably why, because it was smoked with the tobacco leaves.
Yeah.
All right.
Going back, I like it better.
Right.
And that's
see?
why I saved some, because when you bring
Yeah.
it out and talk about it, your mind gives you the impression of what it's supposed to be. Isn't it good now?
It is.
Isn't the double blind thing is like really a thing?
Yeah. Yeah, when it's
no,
going
it's
up.
way. Why is that? It's way more pleasant now.
Yeah.
You're just your palate's
Well, not
alive. It's woken up. You've been
You
going
also
back
went
and
to
forth.
two other tasting
Yep.
ones.
Yep.
And when you go back, I mean, we've made that mistake before when we're like talking about the first pairings and saying, oh, the pairings, the final should have been the second pairings. But when you go back to the winner of the first pairings, you're like, oh my gosh, it's better than I remember. And it's
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure on number 4.
Yep. Yeah, I thought it was a much closer comparison than what 2 and 3 ended
Right.
up being. Myself.
Man, these Gurkhas are just rolling nice, dude. They're staying lit, and it's awesome.
Yeah, you can come get them at the Nice Ash Cigar Bar.
Yeah. And they're big walk-in humidor. They have a ton of stuff there.
They do.
You know?
Yeah.
We do.
Thank you, Chris. And then the second one, oh shit. Knocking my ash off. That's
Keep
my
your ash off the
That's
table.
my dad
Keep
joke.
your ash.
I just kicked my ash. All right, and then we went to 2 and 3, and 3, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the Starlight aged
Yeah,
in
it should be.
Amburana.
Yeah, it is.
It is. So this is a Starlight Distillery cigar batch. It's a bourbon whiskey finished in Brazilian Amburana barrels. Here's to our Brazilian followers.
Hey, thank you.
The one to
Fun
two
legume.
1 to 2 Brazilian followers.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'll read the back of this as well. It says, after a minimum of 4 years aging in new oak barrels, a sustainably crafted small batch blend was transferred to Amburana Brazilian oak barrels for additional aging. This process provides notes of cigar box, baking spice, aromas, and sweet vanilla.
So what's a cigar box made out of? Is it cedar? Or is
Cedar.
it just
Usually
cedar?
cedar.
Some
Spanish
are
cedar?
cardboard, but cedar for the most part.
Gotcha.
They'll even have cigars wrapped in like a cedar
Yeah,
sleeve.
I've seen those before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anybody light that cedar?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
it is funny. It's like newbie,
Yeah.
Yep.
newbie
yep.
alert.
Hey man, after a couple dozen whiskeys, sometimes you forget to take stuff off. You know, it happens.
It's true.
Yeah, so those were the ones that didn't advance. Some pretty good options.
Those are pretty good options.
Yeah.
I know, like, really liked the Buzzard Juice in the past, and I mean, my wife loves that Amburana finish, so we have a backup bottle of that Starlight at home. So
Yeah.
they're good.
Do you like the RD1 Amburana one better than this one, or which one do you prefer?
They're very different,
Yeah,
kind of like Wild Turkey versus Woodford.
yeah,
They're that kind of style different,
sure.
where they're like same planet but different flavor
That's
profiles.
fascinating.
Yeah. Do you have a preference on which one then, or not? Each has their place.
I think I like the Starlight one a little bit better.
Okay.
Just because it's got a little bit more brown sugar notes to it for me. The RD1 is also very good, and I have drank an entire bottle in like 2 weeks, so that's not an issue. It's just the especially with cigars right now, that one seems to be a little more poppy. If you're not a big fan of that cinnamon flavor, then that RD1's going to blow you out of the water, because it is way more cinnamon
Oh,
toast
it is?
crunch.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a lot more.
Cinnamon is very spicy too. If you're a spice person, cinnamon can have a lot of spice to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. This is typically the moment where we do dad jokes.
Do you want a cigar joke?
That would be wonderful, because we're on location. I did not pack the dad joke book, so I'm a
Okay.
little sad.
What's
Saddened.
what's the Pope's favorite cigar?
Monica.
Holy smokes.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Why does the ashtray tell the truth every time someone uses it to put out a cigar?
Something about butts.
Because it likes big butts and it cannot lie. Yeah.
I have a dad joke.
Good.
What do you call a blind deer? No idea.
That is a dad joke for sure.
It definitely is. Nicely done, Joe.
Yeah.
I come prepared.
You do. It's like, I got one,
I'm ready.
but I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, fun. Okay, so we're down
All right.
between 1 and 2.
One and two.
1 and 2.
I went back to one. Not as big of a fan.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
Really?
I know.
Oh, all the regrets.
Oh my God.
Regerts.
Regurt's not even a letter?
We got ash
Nope.
in there.
Yep, same here.
Not I.
Yeah. Man, they're both tasty, though.
They are.
I mean,
And the ones that are left are the ones that are aged and finished in the
cherry and...
cognac
And
What's the other one?
Armagnac.
Armagnac. Armani.
and sherry.
Yeah, Louboutin, like all those fancy French words.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these should be a little more similar. You're really just looking at the difference in proof, I think.
I'm also wondering, too, if there's a difference in age.
I would think so.
Because, I don't know necessarily what age statements are on whatever's left. Tasty, though.
It
Do you
is.
guys ever talk about the legs on a bourbon?
Sometimes you bring
Sometimes
it
we
up.
do.
Yeah.
Look at one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, wow.
That
Yeah,
is.
You're right.
That is very.
Yeah,
Leggy.
that's very leggy. That's the viscous.
Yeah. That's that coating mouthfeel
Yes.
for sure.
It also grabs ash.
Does it?
Yep.
I just ash in the ashtray.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed
That's
to do.
where I've been ashing
Oh,
too.
cool. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
I
novel concept, but that's
thought
what
that
we
was
do, how
just
we
a
do it
display
here.
thing.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
do this. This is my first time.
It is. Yeah.
I've never done this before.
All right, it's time for a shout out, and I think we just had an episode where we got to interview master distiller of Larrikin,
Yep.
and we were at Ira's Cigar Bar down in Oak Creek. So shout out Ira's. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to get in there and interview them. That we had a great time. You guys have a fantastic selection of bourbons and whiskeys, and we really appreciate that opportunity. So here's to Ira's. Thank you so much.
Ira's and Larrikin.
Yep.
Ira's and Larrikin. Yeah. Back at it.
Man, the nose on 2 is it's just a delicious nose.
Are you getting any orange off of 2?
Like orange peel?
Yeah, almost like like an old fashioned, where it's got like that sweetness, a little bit of orange.
I can see that. I wouldn't have been able to pick it out on my own, but
It's that.
then again,
It's the
can't pick out
the
much.
pears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Adam, it's been pretty obvious and apparent that you just have this ability to get a lot more from the nosings than us simple folk.
No,
Yes.
it's not at all.
Agree.
Agree.
I mean,
Just take the compliment.
Thank you.
talking of the legs, I mean, 2.
I think 2 does too.
It
Yep.
it is really thick.
I was going to
just
say, I'm going to have a
coating
hard
the
time
inside.
between 1 and 2.
Yeah. Again, I think they're very similar with the finishing process. We're talking about 120 proofer next to 109, I believe. So.
Ooh.
Oh, I like both of them a lot. They're very similar.
They are.
Sherry and Armagnac are very similar, aren't they?
Yeah, because the one's double stilled, one's single stilled.
Well, cognac and Armagnac.
Oh.
Sherry, I think
Sherry's-
sherry is like a white grape.
Is it a fortified product?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can see these as both being things like, all right, depending on what you're having or want, because 1 has some sweetness a little bit. 2 it's punchy.
Yeah.
The nose and everything is right there that says, hey, no, you are tasting from the barrel, and that helps kind of come through, especially if you're having a cigar with food or something like that.
Right.
I think I have one picked.
I would agree.
I have an option picked.
An option pick.
Yeah. Don't want to be accused of picking
Right.
the glass before
Right.
it's time.
No, and it's really the cigars we have they're more of a lighter cigar. They're not super, super heavy. And I'm wondering if that would change which one I would pick.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a fair comment, and that's why we decided to all kind of smoke the same cigar as well, so that we're all on the same playing
We're not
field.
biased.
Right.
Not.
Yeah, if you had a heavy, oily kind of Maduro or something like that, I
Yeah.
could see that going and definitely changing the way you'd go and take between the sweetness. You'd
Right.
almost need the ultra sweet to kind of help
Right.
fight through.
And I wonder if that would, I have a feeling if I was smoking like a darker cigar that it would definitely change my opinion of which one I'm picking. But
Yeah. These have a nice dark wrapper, though. These are Havana.
yeah.
I believe it's the Gurkha Havana blend. They're good.
Yeah, they're a fine smokable.
Mine's burning real nice.
Yeah.
It is.
Mine keeps going out on me, but
I think it's because you're not hitting it enough.
I think it's
I think
up
I'm dipping
too
it in
much
glass
talking.
one.
Oh,
Yep.
he
That's
keeps-
obviously where my ash goes.
I'm definitely going operator error.
Yeah, is that affecting your tasting profile when there's
It might be.
there's a whole half a cigar worth of ash in it?
Yeah. Yeah. Finished in Gurkha leaf.
Yes.
Gurkha ash. Well, are we ready to
Yeah.
pick?
I think we're ready to picky pick.
Joette was first, then I started. Now it's up to Chris to start.
Yeah, this was tough going back and forth. But I'm going with 2. That nose on it, just every time going up there, I just like that. They are both have a great mouthfeel. A little different on a bit of the burn, but the way they kind of go in the taste, 2 is a little bit sweeter, so I could definitely see some people not going as much for it versus the other. But I mean, it really comes through in everything that we're doing today. Yeah, I'm going with 2.
Awesome. I'm gonna go with 1. I think that one's held up really great for me. And after a cigar, like with the smoke in your mouth and you're taking a drink, that sweet cream finish is really just staying there for me. So I'm gonna go with number 1.
I also am going to go with number 1. I like the sweet nose. I like the sweet feel in your mouth. Nice and viscous. One of my favorites.
Very good. So Joette, I don't know if you know, but obviously there's 4 of us, so to break the tie,
Todd gets 1.5
I get like
votes.
1.5
He gets an
votes.
extra.
Yes.
He gets an extra electoral college vote in order to.
You realize you're in my business, right?
That's true.
Just a reminder.
I better pick one.
However, no, based on Joette's earlier tasting, she's gonna go back afterwards and change and
Yeah, it
want
should be
to
like,
go.
actually.
She'll want to go to 2 anyways.
And I might have sabotaged myself by ashing in one,
That's probably a positive.
That's
Yeah.
Fair.
but no.
Here, you want to try one without ash in it?
No, I know the taste, and they were very similar
Yes.
as far as, I mean, they're very delicious options. Whichever one I pick is, I mean, the other one is not that bad. You know,
Right.
you're going to be
A close second.
It's
Yes.
a very close second. When I tasted 2 against 3, something I failed to mention but wanted to was I really got a really like leathery, earthy, tobacco-y notes on it. It's it's sweet. I think the viscosity, it's a mouthfeel thing.
On 2 or 3?
On 2. 'Cause
When he
I
was
was
going
comparing
against 3.
against 3, that I was thinking that, but then failed to mention it when I was actually doing the breakdown of the
Yeah.
2. And I really enjoy 2. I'm a big fan of 2, so I'm picking 2.
Yeah.
Here's the 2.
Hooray for 2. Which one do you hope it is, Todd?
I kind of hope that it's the Joseph Magnus,
Me
because
too.
that one is much harder to get.
I know.
It's more expensive. It's like a $200 bottle compared to probably a 70-ish bottle.
Right.
So,
Does that not factor into your
No.
mix? No, really? Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
Although,
None of it.
yeah, knowing that
It should.
if 2 I like and 2 is 200,
We do just want taste to advance.
Yeah.
Taste and nose and experience rather than like the marketing of anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
but I mean, knowing that is we're like, hey, all right, I was back and forth between 1 and 2. If one's $70, 2 is $200, I'm gonna
Right.
buy 3 bottles of 1.
Absolutely.
Well, and
Because
even
you're a smart man.
well, even like the Starlight's 65.70, right?
Yeah.
And so is the Buzzard's Roost.
Yep.
And then, so like the outlier should be hopefully is the one that wins.
We'll find out. Let's bring those bottles in and see which one won. All right, we're back, and we're going to show the runner-up to this tasting was a Copper and Cask.
Copper and Cask.
Now, you guys picked a 7-year.
So this is number 1.
This is number 1, and
Yep.
this is the 120 proofer. It did not drink like 120
No,
at
did
all.
not.
So that's very interesting. I think the extra aging, the 7 years,
Yeah.
really did.
Well, and how long was it finished?
That's a good point. I'll read.
There's a lot of questions that we always
Yes.
bring up that none of the distilleries disclose.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll read the back and find out. It says it's a single barrel project curating superior hand-selected spirits, always rare and never ordinary. It's a cigar blend bourbon whiskey, small batch. It's finished in cognac, sherry, port, and Armagnac.
Oh my God.
It's a lot of
It
finishes.
was bottled October of 2024. It's from Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
Okay.
Small batch 008 is a marriage of hand-selected low rye, which is 21%, and high rye, 36%, bourbon barrels, all aged for a minimum of 7 years. The whiskey was finished in a combination of Armagnac, sherry, cognac, and port casks. It doesn't say how long they were finished.
Right.
But
So did they move it from 4 different barrels?
I was gonna say they just like
I
grab.
think they blend it. So like
blend.
this barrel goes into this one goes in that one, this one goes in that one, and then they bring them all
Then they bring
together
them
and they
together.
make their run.
Okay.
Yes.
They
Is
just
that
found
small
every
batch?
barrel they could
It is a small
possibly
batch.
find and be like, let's just throw something in.
But
some
they're
of
all
them.
very similar.
They are very similar.
If you drink
It's almost like, all
sherry,
right,
port, Armagnac.
we need 400 barrels. We've only got 100 of Armagnac and only 100 of all right, then we'll take the full batch.
Yeah, it does not drink 120 proof at all.
No, that's a delicious
Not even
option.
close. Not
Yeah.
even close. And what's the price on that barrel?
What,
the
70
bottle?
bucks?
About 70. I
That's the
think.
70? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So, like Chris, you were saying, if that they were that close, where it's like you can almost get a Joseph Magnus cigar blend imitator through this because they were similar and very good. I mean,
Right.
it took 2 people voting for that.
No,
2
I don't.
people-
Yeah.
It's also hard to find this one sometimes. Like I've seen Copper and Cast stuff, but I haven't seen their cigar blend one.
Sure.
And I'm guessing they probably do a yearly release of it, so you just kind of have to be in the right place, right time.
I think you're right. I was actually saving them up for doing a Copper and Cast episode, but then I'm like, I need another
Cigar
cigar,
blend.
blend.
Yeah,
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 so
yeah.
I'm kind of
And
glad I did bring it in for this.
3 bottles to 1 bottle, price-wise.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's how I shop,
Yep.
especially if they're that similar.
I agree, and we might as well bring out what won.
Yep.
And that was glass 2. And I do like that this thing ended up winning, because if
I
I'm
do
going to
too.
spend the money on it,
And-
it's hard to find too.
Right. And actually, this morning for breakfast, I had the regular one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Breakfast.
I did. It was like 8 o'clock this morning. I had.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Gotta start the
you,
day.
You and Corey.
Do you know if you have this bottle here, Joette?
I do
in
not.
your stash? No. It's a delicious option. You should get some cigar blend whiskeys here.
I should.
Yeah.
Yeah, at $200 a bottle. That
Well,
how much a pour is going to
you've got
What,
some
35,
other
40
You've got some
40
other
bucks a
rare
bottle.
bottles here, though.
You guys have that double oaked.
My number 1 was Copper and Cask, though, so that's the one I would bring in.
Yeah.
And 70 is a big difference in price than 210, 200.
Yeah, around 200. Yeah, and again, it might as well be like allocated because
It's hard to
you
find.
do not see this anywhere.
Last time I saw one was in Lake Geneva, if that gives any.
Yeah, it's hard to find. So I'll just go ahead and read the information on this. It's 54.54 alcohol by volume, so it's 109. It's a cigar blend bourbon. It's a straight bourbon whiskey finished in Armagnac, sherry, and cognac cask. So the other one actually introduces some port into it, where this one didn't.
Yeah.
And the writing on the side is really light. It's hard to see. I'll put it on.
I had thought that one is older. I'm pretty sure that the Magnus stuff's older than 7 years.
It could be. I think I had to like look it up to find
Yeah.
out, and I don't know, but I'll put it on there to show. And it's so
it
light,
has
you
to
can't
say.
really read.
Let me see it.
Young eyes.
You don't have to say
The age.
Right.
no.
No.
So if it's a bourbon, it's got to be at least. They have to say if it's under 4 years.
Correct. A lot of times age statements come because people shop for age statements.
Nancy Fraley's cigar blend assumes bold with rich aromas of tobacco, spice, leather, in all capitals.
It's a lot
Vanilla,
of leather.
blanched almonds, and toffee, also all caps.
I didn't get that at all.
The Armagnac cask
Raspberry.
finish
Yeah.
lends fruity notes of figs, prune,
Okay.
and dried apricot.
Oh,
Apricot!
Come on.
For those watching and listening, we kind of talked about that before we started the episode.
Yeah.
We're like, how do you get apricot out of nosing and tasting?
When we were talking about flavor notes out of cigars too, and that's
Yep.
when she was like, "Oh yeah, so yeah,
Yes.
apricots out of a cigar."
To lovers of life everywhere, enjoy with your favorite cigar, dark chocolate, and good friends.
Nice.
I'm a fan of life.
Yeah.
I am. I have
The
like
alternative
life
is
lover.
awful.
exactly. I am not a fan of not being life.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of whiskey I still need to drink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool that this thing is going to
Let me
advance.
take a look at that bad boy.
And Joette, what we do is we take episode winners and compare them to other episode winners, and we end up getting a monthly winner. Then we take 3 monthly winners and get a quarterly winner. We then take 4 quarterly winners against each other, and that's going to happen on episode number 65. And this is episode
50.
56, so we're
Yeah.
getting there.
We're getting there, and then at the end we do quarterly winners. Then we're gonna
Yeah.
have a final 4 against
Yeah.
final 4.
So we really are tasting a lot of delicious options,
Yeah.
and we're finding out what our best tasting bourbon of the year is through this process, and it's a wonderful option. Joette, have you ever done blind tastings before?
I have not.
What do you think of the experience?
I've enjoyed it immensely
Good.
because I think at least I go into things with preconceived notions.
Yep.
Sure. I think we all do as,
Yeah.
as just humans.
Yeah.
And well, we were all fairly close on the same page, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of sometimes when you
similar.
do all the double blinds, it's like, is the more premium stuff necessarily worth it, right? And then sometimes it ends up winning a lot of times, but like, God, sometimes it's super close.
It is super close. This example
Right.
specifically.
Well, just like
Yep.
like Stag versus the 1792 Foolproof.
Yes.
Like that's
Yep.
super tight, and
Yeah.
the Foolproof's like way easier to get.
Much easier to get. Yeah. You're right. It's a testament to this whole process because
Yes.
we're finding ways for you to enjoy some of the
Yep.
very hard to get stuff with stuff that's going to be really similar
Right.
and much easier to find
Right.
and get. So before we wrap this up, Joette, what can you tell us about some of the different options you have here where people can kind of get into some of tasting different whiskeys and bourbons?
We've got a whiskey club. It's I think it's $25 a year. You get discounts on the higher priced. You always get $1 off any whiskey, and you higher priced ones on Tuesdays and Sundays. You get $1 off, $2 off, $5 off, depending on if it's 15, 20, or more than 25 a pour.
Okay.
That sounds like a good deal.
So you have, we said earlier, the 50-ish plus rolling up and down of different bourbons. How many different whiskeys do you have in all?
A bunch.
Yeah, I want to say like 175. Like
That's
I
a
say,
good
it
selection.
rolls up
It
and
rolls
down.
up and down, so
but
around the 200 mark.
right around
kind of.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually have like a book that you have all the different options you have.
The Whiskey Bible.
The Whiskey Bible, yeah.
And some of the whiskeys that we carry are only available if you're in the Whiskey Club because they're limited edition. We do a lot of allocated, and those are only for Whiskey Club members.
Gotcha. I know too. You guys have some awesome music here, or like I haven't been in a minute, but you guys used to have some fantastic music all the time.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, we've always got live music.
Yeah. You guys pick great bands and different performers to come in here.
A lot
It's
of
been
jazz,
a lot of fun. Blues,
jazz, blues,
Yeah.
classic rock.
We were in here one time. They had a guy. He was doing '90s like alt rock covers, like Counting Crows and like all that stuff. That was awesome. it was a lot of fun.
We don't do rap.
Nope.
We do very little country, but otherwise we cover all genres.
Yeah, fantastic. And
Awesome.
you have Monday nights, which you have poker.
Yep.
You want to explain what that's about?
We do a 10-week session. It's a free roll. It doesn't cost you anything to play, but you got to buy a cigar or a drink.
Oh darn.
And after 10 weeks, we do a tournament of champions. They get a box of cigars
Ooh.
and a bottle of some kind of booze. And
And it rolls over
T-shirts,
where at the end
hats.
of the year,
we just actually did for the rebuys. You can rebuy if you get out early for $5 all year long. First half of the year, the $5 goes to charity, and it's generally between $5,000 and $6,000 worth of rebuys.
there's a lot of donkeys.
That's donkey play.
Yeah.
And then the second half of the year, the $5 rebuys goes into a World Series of Poker Satellite that's held on Saturdays starting in January. We just finished last week, and 3 people will be going to Vegas. We pay
That's
for,
awesome.
I am not one of them.
No.
I
did
am
not-
one of them.
Ooh.
course you are.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Hope
My
you get
daughter
to-
and I both won again.
Really?
3 years ago, and then we both won again this year.
That's got to be a cool experience.
Well, they mark the cards.
Oh,
They
We
do.
do. Well, yeah.
You'll notice that she wears like a different kind of UV type lens glasses
yeah.
on those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's house rules.
Yeah.
But we pay their airfare, hotel, and then a $1,000 entry fee.
Awesome.
So that's remarkable.
That's
for,
so cool.
For getting here and playing for free, you have
Yeah.
an option to do these trips and win some money. So
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
And you get to smoke some great cigars and have some
Absolutely.
great whiskey
Yeah.
while you're doing it all.
And the people here are just fantastic.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, most of the people.
most of the people.
There's a couple that
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're one of those people,
we don't name
come
names
here.
though. We don't name names. We also have a nice Ash Cash rewards program that costs you $5 to get in. You get $5 off on your birthday of any drink or cigar, and
That's-
every $250 you
every
get
$250 you get
$25 back.
Okay. That's pretty good.
It is. You get money back.
Yeah.
It's like a credit card, like a cashback
Like
credit
a rebate.
card.
Yep.
Yeah. That's good.
You have a ton of different awesome things to reward to patrons, and that's
Yeah.
fantastic. You
It
want
is.
to come in to an establishment and actually be recognized or rewarded for your loyalty, and that,
Right.
I think that's fantastic that you have those options for
Yeah.
people.
It helps the bartenders get to know the customers too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's always good. Customer service being the forefront of everything is
Exactly.
fantastic.
Yep, that's how you keep your customers.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, you have a nice ash contest.
Nice ash. Who gets the longest? Everybody picks their own cigar.
You have to buy it
Uh-oh.
from here.
Okay.
You have to buy it from here. Todd is reigning champion.
Oh, is
That's
he?
why he brought this up.
Oh, he's a pat
That
him
is
in the
why I
back
brought
for
it
me,
up.
you know? Did you have to lay down over one of the comfy couches in order to get that to not fall off, or?
No, but there are people that come and pat you on the back and say, "How you doing?" And
Yeah.
it's like, "Leave me alone."
Pat you hard. Get
Yeah.
away. Get away from me.
Yeah, and I'll show a picture of my nice ash.
Fantastic.
Ash.
Yeah, thank you.
So a lot of cool different options, and then if you win that, you get like a smorgasbord of like 25 different cigars that they put together, and so a lot of cool things. you know?
Correct.
Yeah,
That'll be
sounds
coming
awesome.
up in the end of April.
Okay.
Ooh,
Coming up.
I gotta retain my seat.
Yep.
So this has been a fantastic experience.
Yes,
thank you so much, Joette,
much.
for inviting
Really
us.
appreciate
much
it.
for
You're
having
welcome.
us.
Welcome anytime.
Really appreciate it. We appreciate you watching and listening as well. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next episode.
Later.